Hi everyone. My teammate is Rohit Pal and I'm Jui. So we have made a project for improve education with data, which we have collected our data set from donors.org, which has a data set uh, which includes like all the donations made across USA. So this data set gives me information regarding the states and the county and the city and what schools and the donations which are made in different subject areas and what resources the donations have been made on, what are the poverty level of all the schools, what are the grades and the total number of donations which are made. Also, what is the funding status of those projects and the date when the project is expired and when it is started. So we have analyzed this data set and we have inferred some analytics from it. So I'll be going through what we have done in this. So the main purpose of our project was to see whether all these donations have been received well by all the high and low poverty schools, whether those high poverty schools are getting all the resources which they really require, also whether they are getting all the funds in all the subject areas. So in the first chart which we made, we have seen this funding status of all the projects. So it shows us, if we hover on to this, it shows us that 7,822 projects have been completed for those fundings, and it shows me the status of the expire projects, and these are my 57 projects have been relocated. So relocated means that those projects have been assigned again and they are then continuing their funding. So in the next chart we have seen the number of amount of donation received across all these states. So here we can see that in South Carolina and Texas we have got no data. So this would create a bias because we don't have any data for these two states. So to avoid this bias, we have avoided our analysis from state perspective. When I go to my next charts, I can see that these two charts show me the number of projects which are distributed among the different poverty levels. So I have 4 poverty levels, that is my high poverty, highest poverty, low poverty and moderate poverty. So in my highest poverty, I can see like majority of the projects have gone to the highest poverty level, so which is a really good thing because I really need to improve the highest poverty stricken schools. So if I hover on to these values, I can see the number of projects which have been allocated for these poverty levels. Then when I go to, these are my resource types. So what type of resources the funding has gone to. So here I can see that for supplies, the maximum number of projects have been for supply purpose. So I can see the number here if I hover on to all these attributes. So here I can decide whether I really need to give more donations to technology to improve the make technology available to all schools which are especially high stricken poverty. So the next graph is a parallel coordinate graph. Here I have tried to analyze 3 perspectives, that is the poverty level of the schools and the subject area where the donations have been made, and this scale shows me the sum of percentage of the donations which are made. So we can do this analysis in perspective of, if we only see the highest poverty level schools, we can see if we only see the highest poverty levels, we can see that the maximum donations have been made in the literature and language section, and then for the applied learning. So I can see the correlation between all these subject areas. So we can here see that the health and sports and the special needs area is really underrepresented. So we need to focus more on health and sports for even the highest poverty and whatever special needs or the disabled children's requirements. So here we see that there is a low amount of donations which goes to this category, and we can see this analysis of the number of donations made for across the subject areas across all these 3 categories of poverty levels. So we can see what the correlation here is. We can select these individual lines and see what the correlation is. Next analysis which we have done is also from the point of perspective of poverty. So we have seen the resource types this time. So we wanted to see if we are actually donating all the whether technology and books and all these different resource types are reaching the highest poverty level. So we can see here that the most of the donations are made is to the category of supplies. So if we can definitely do an improvement in technology and books, so we can analyze these things from these two parallel coordinate graphs. So the main purpose of our analysis was to do a analysis from poverty perspective and see whether different resource types and the donations for different subject areas are reaching those areas or not. Thank you.